My name is Lawrence, and this is my dark room experience.
The story you are about to hear is true. Only the names have been changed. Only the names have been changed.
I've been in the Lord since I was 13. Is when I gave my life to God. Um, it came from a place of brokenness where I was able to completely surrender to Him, even at that young of an age, which was pretty difficult because you have all kind of influences and things pulling at you left and right, and then you have the ways of the world, and you have society, and you have your friends and the people you're trying to fit in and you're trying to accommodate for. But I was a young child when I gave my life to God, and it was very it was a simple thing that I did in the living room of my house where we stayed. It was around midnight, and I had just left my mother. We were talking about some issues, and I remember going to the couch in the living room, and I just got on my knees for the first time without anybody prompting me or anybody kind of telling me. And I wanted to know if He was real. I wanted to feel Him right there in that moment, and I had just this overwhelming sense of man, like warmth, like He was there, like, and that was His answer. And broke down in tears, and I remember calling one of my best friends the next day, and I said, man, God is real. And he was like, yeah, man, well, we've been in church at this point our whole lives, but it was my first time actually feeling the Spirit, and it was a very special thing to me, and I'm just grateful for the Holy Spirit. I'm a service alarm technician, and I have been doing that for almost 14 years. I do inspections. I do installs. So we install fire systems. We inspect fire systems. I also install alarm systems, including camera surveillance, CCTV. I'm actually one of the ones who teach, and I help the newer techs come familiar with what we do. On this particular day, it was a day where I was just really more concerned. I had a severe toothache, and that was the big concern that morning. So I started my day, called my supervisor, told him that I'm gonna be making it to the job site, but I need to make some runs because I have a severe toothache. It was so funny how that seemed like that was my worst pain that I was gonna be dealing with. But lo and behold, it was something brewing. I called my coworker. He was going to be meeting me on site. I say, man, if you want to, if you close, just to kill some time, get you some breakfast, and I'll call you when I'm pulling up. So that's exactly what I did. I've been to this place numerous times. I was very familiar with the building. A matter of fact, I was kind of priming my coworker to, what to expect. Um, the place is it's an office slash warehouse, and they have a lot of heavy machinery. And so we're walking the facility. I'm explaining to them, look, this is what I already checked out. I'm pointing out all of the devices, burglar alarm and fire alarm. I'm showing him where the main panel is, and I'm going through some of the history of the system, some of the issues we've already had, some of the issues we conquered, and some of the new issues that were presenting themselves. It got to be around lunchtime. We were almost finished. Literally, I would say 95% of the work was done. And I posed to my coworker, I was like, man, you want to go ahead and finish, or do you want to try to get an early day? He was like, you know what, today let's try to knock it out. So I was like, okay. I was saving the worst for last. And I say, well, I saved this particular part of our job for last because it was a very difficult area to navigate. It was clutter, heavy machinery. You had some barrels. It was pallets. I said, you know what, man, you've been running all day. I'm gonna take care of this one. You know, this one will be on me. You go by the keypad or wait for my word, and we'll see what's going on. He said, okay, man. He was happy. You know, it's like, man, you know, I'm actually going to go by the keypad. He was like, give me a call, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna need your help, man. Just watch me as I'm trying to navigate this area. And you know, he was like, man, looks like you got it. You know, it looks like you got it. And I was like, all right, man. Well, you have your phone ready. I'm gonna be calling you in a minute. I'm gonna pull the pull station. You let me know what you see on your end. I didn't get that far. As I was making my way down this path, I thought I had dealt with the worst of the clutter, but I was squeezing through this narrow area. I felt like I got to the other side, and I heard this noise as if something was coming my way or coming down or had been dispensed. And literally, I didn't have any time to react. I felt like a rushing wind come close to my face and across my nose. And after that, it was no more hearing anything. I just felt extreme pain in my right toe, my right toes, plural. I let out a scream that I didn't even know I could produce, and my coworker, who didn't get too far away from me, he came back and he actually thought I was joking because we joke around a lot, and I was like, nah, this is real. I say, man, I literally I'm in pain, and I'm going in between pain and not being able to feel my toes. I can recall me laying across a couple of chairs that they had put together, and my leg was stretched out. At this time, I was in excruciating pain. They were almost trying to like keep me conscious, and it's not that I was going in and out of consciousness, but it was really it was a spiritual awakening of sorts, where it was a very powerful spirit of revelation that came over me, and I was navigating through the warehouse, and this spirit, actually the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of truth, it allowed me to see the area where the accident happened. It allowed me to see the pipe, you know, the structure, how it was made, how many pounds that it weighed, and where it fell from. And I just had an overwhelming sense of God's presence. Just with that vision, it allowed me to go from a place of where I was I had a spirit of discomfort, to where that spirit was just automatically put at ease, because I can see how God's hand was in the midst of everything. I can see His mercy, I can see His grace so vividly, and get to the point to where they're taking me to the hospital. I get wheeled through the door. They're signing me in, and I can recall my wife being right there by my side, praying for me. And I had my brother who had called, and he had chimed in, and he started praying for me. And my spirit was already being lifted. I was lifted from the vision, and then I was lifted from the prayers. And I got rolled to the back after a short period of time. And I can hear the doctor going over my chart, and he goes, man, you know, he was it was like, it's pretty bad. And he was like, man, we have 2 complete breaks, and it was like 9 smaller fractions. And when I heard that, it's like the enemy was trying to steal everything that God had already placed in me about my healing. And then I got a call from 2 of my favorite ministers, and they just spoke such a powerful word over my life as I was as I was signing out and being released. And it got to the point to where they lifted me up so much, and I had so much belief in what they were saying me. I got up, and I started to walk normally, and it was blood started to go everywhere, and the nurses came to aid me and was telling me I had to slow down. But I do believe that not only is my healing on the way, but I have all the power, authority to walk in it right now as we speak. It's been a healing journey. I think the healing actually started in my foot, and it resonated to my heart, in my mind. It's been a holistic type of healing. I am completely healed. I'm back at work. The process wasn't as hard as some would have led me to believe. I had the injury. The injury didn't have me. It was never in a place where I felt like it was dictating. I never stopped serving God, being there for my family, and it was just to see that God could use some of our most horrible circumstances that the devil meant to be a stumbling block, and he can just turn it into a stepping stone. He has done the inconceivable with my foot, and I just thank God for it. I'm armed and equipped with a brand new testimony for anybody who are here. I'll definitely tell them.
Only the names have been changed.